When I was a kid, I was very shy, very insecure, and even anxious. And one thing that I desperately needed but never had was like an older brother figure. Somebody I could look up to in a way like that. Somebody not necessarily to teach you things like a father figure, but like an older brother in that sort of way. And everybody has an idea about themselves in their own head. There's an idea about yourself, like Patrick Bateman said. So even if you're not a psychopath, you probably have an idea about yourself in your head. And yeah, it's true. And this version of yourself that you have in your head, either it is how you think you are perceived by others, or it is, if you tend to overthink and pre-plan everything like me, the way you would like to be one day. One thing everybody likes are reliable people. Somebody you can give a task or ask for a favor, and when they say they're gonna do it, you know that they're gonna do it. I mean, imagine you're too shy to walk into an office and ask your boss something, for example. Imagine you had someone, like an older brother. You can just tell that, and then he will walk into the office for you and, have a tough conversation on your behalf, and he's not afraid to do it, and everything is going to be solved. Now, that's not how it works, obviously. You're still going to have to be the one to walk in the imaginary office. You still have to make doctor's appointments on your own without your parents. Yes, I know. That's very tough. Especially if you're sick like I am right now at the moment. That's why you saw me pop an aspirin C at the beginning of the video. But if you think about this version that you would ask for help, the one that you would ask to, walk into the office for you, the one that you would ask to make a doctor's appointment for you. But what is this version like? It's this person is trustworthy, he's reliable, and you know that if you ask him for a favor, or her, it's gonna get done. And the only thing that you can do if you don't have your personal assistant everywhere following you around, doing everything for you, you have to be that yourself. It's like, I bet you heard this before, people asking, what would Jesus do in this situation, right? And so you gotta ask yourself, what would this person do if they were in my situation? If you're the creative type, like me, for example, you can, imagine like how it might look, and my version of myself, just basically looks like myself, obviously, but maybe a little bit taller, maybe a little bit better looking. Yeah, that helps. I don't have children yet, but when I do, that's what I want to be like for my kids. That's what I would like my kids to see me as. And these are like mind games that you have to play, and of course you shouldn't go into your mind too long and too often. You shouldn't overthink things like that, like walking to the office, man. Just breathe deep down into your your balls and just do it. But it definitely helps to have like this brief instant, this flash, this image of this person in your head of how you would like to be and how this person would handle things. And that expands into so many other areas of your life. What I'm talking about here, by the way, is this concept called self-parenting, I think, in psychology or psychotherapy, whatever. Self-parenting basically just means that you have to be the responsible adult, the responsible grown-up for yourself that you didn't get when you were a child. Again, it's not that bad in my case. It's mainly just about my insecurities and my overthinking, my anxiety, and so on. But you can branch out with this concept in other areas of your life. Like, for example, when you're about to do something that you know you shouldn't do, like get stupidly drunk or open certain websites that you know you shouldn't go on, ask yourself, this version of yourself that you want to look up to, what does this person do? Do they sit around, when they're alone and look at these websites, watch these videos? Do they do that? Is that a respectable person that you want to look up to, that you want to be? Do they do that? Do they get stupidly blackout drunk, even though they said they're gonna go to the gym the next day? Do they go to the gym like they said they would? Do they set themselves goals and make themselves responsible? You know, when you talk to them and they say, oh, you know, next week I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times, and then a week later you ask them, did you go to the gym? Do they say, oh no, you know, I didn't have the time, or I was too tired or something? Or do they say, yes, of course, I've been to the gym, like I said I would, because I said so. And again, don't think too deeply about those things. Don't get lost in thought. That's a trap that I always used to walk right into, getting stuck in my head, getting stuck in my thoughts. And before you know it, you are trapped in this overthinking spiral. And, you know, that's when you just have to say, okay, relax. You know, just this higher version of yourself sort of has to kick into gear. This imaginary self has to take your actual self by the hand, metaphorically, and just say, hey, okay, you know, calm down. It's alright. Don't overthink so much, you know. One thing that I always admire about people is when they just say, you know, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And they just go for it, regardless if they manage to actually do it or not. I think this is my biggest nerve that God has bestowed upon me. That's my biggest weakness is I overthink everything so much. I try to pre-plan everything and make everything perfect. And so this version of myself that I would like to be, it doesn't do that. It's more like, I don't want to say Arnold Schwarzenegger because that's such a cliche, but you know, that guy just didn't really think about things too much. He just said he wanted to do it, and so he just went after it and do it. And I tend to get too caught up in thought, and it's especially difficult for people like me who want to do a lot of things. And I do have a lot of things going on right now, and that's the reason why I didn't upload a video in such a long time, which I'm very sorry for. But as you can see in the video, this is not my usual environment. I moved in with my girlfriend in a different apartment, and so everything is kind of chaotic. Has been a little bit chaotic for the last few months, especially because I'm doing an apprenticeship right now as a mechanical technician / welder / CNC technician, and a lot of things. I go to vocational school for it. I just finished vocational school, and I take evening classes to get, I don't know, it's basically a degree that allows you to go to university. It's a lot of things right now. Then I of course want to go to the gym. I want to take martial art lessons like Muay Thai and grappling and stuff, and then of course I want to do things with my girlfriend. It's a lot. And if you have so many things going on, and then on top of that you overthink, it's hell, and it makes your life so much harder than it already is. And I don't want that. And what I desperately need in situations like that is somebody to take me by the hand and say, hey man, don't worry, it's gonna be alright, and reassure myself. I don't have that, okay? I'm old enough, okay? I can be the man if I want to, if you know what I mean, but I still need somebody like that. And so I have to be that for myself. And one day when I tell people about all the things that I did at once, you know, the degree, the apprenticeship, all the studying, going to the gym and everything, when I tell my kids about it one day, you know, and I can talk about these things with pride and everything that I've done, and it's gonna sound easy. It always sounds easy when somebody tells you about the things that they've done. It's like, oh, they just did it, basically. But it was not easy, of course, when they were in the trenches, when they were in the situations. And so yeah, that's when this higher version, the best version that you can be for yourself, has to kick in and say, hey, it's cool, it's gonna be alright. You're alright. You have been through so many things. I have done so much in my life. I have survived so much. I can do these things if I want to. And if you have nobody to tell you that, Like me, I mean, I do have, of course, parents and family members who tell me, but you know, when other people tell you, sometimes, I mean, honestly, like we have a negativity bias as people. Sometimes we like to overhear those positive things. It doesn't have the same gravity when other people tell you that than if you can really tell yourself that. People can tell you you're great 100 times, and it's not gonna have the same impact as if it really comes from yourself and you yourself really believe that you're great and you can do that. So be that version for yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't overthink. And use it as a tool. Use this higher version of yourself as a tool and step into that person when it's necessary. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I put a lot of work into all of this stuff. Now that I'm back to making videos, yeah, I see again how much work it is every time I make a video. The drawing is just the smallest part, actually. The biggest part is all the editing and stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I would appreciate it if you give me thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, of course, if you liked it. If not, then take care. And yeah, in any case, actually, take care and bye-bye.